So in my last video, I talked about color, and I made it sound like light is a wave. Well, that's not really true, and to understand why, let's go on a trip through history. What is light? So this man, Aristotle, thought of light as a disturbance in air, which was one of the four known elements at the time, and then a long time went by and lesser known scientists made contributions, but really the next person to say anything about light was this man, Isaac Newton. That's right, the color wheel guy, the white light guy, not to mention his laws of motion and gravity. Yep, he was a pretty busy guy. Well, he tried to explain light as a particle, and really he's the only person to do this until Einstein-y modern quantum physics stuff. Then, in 1801, Thomas Young did the double slit experiment and showed that light must be a wave because it exhibits diffraction. At this point, it seems like we've finally explained this idea of light, and we can finally move on from this ancient question. But wait. About 100 years later, another scientist named Albert Einstein was working on something called the photoelectric effect. Basically, he shined a light on a piece of metal, and at certain frequencies of light, no matter how high the amplitude was, none of the electrons would come off the metal. And at only slightly larger frequencies, even at amplitudes that were almost zero, electrons would get jiggled off. Only one thing would make sense if this were true. Light would have to be a particle. What? This led to mass confusion and chaos in the physics community, and you've probably heard of the particle-wave duality, and this is where it comes from. How can light be a particle and a wave? How can one thing be both? Everyone was stumped. After spending many years on trying to make sense of this, many people gave up and began to look at something else. And another development came along in quantum mechanics called QED, quantum electrodynamics. This is a mechanical framework that explains what light does, keeping in mind that we still have no idea why light does this, but we can only give it a formula and act like we know what's happening. This man, Richard Feynman, is very well known for this field of QED and wrote a book about it, and honestly, I'm still trying to understand it myself, but hopefully I'll be able to make a video about it one day. Anyway, Feynman invented these diagrams called Feynman diagrams that really revolutionized QED and help us understand interactions between light and matter so much better. Which was great. But anyway, even if we never understand what light is, we can always just sit back and enjoy the view. Light is just another beautiful natural phenomena that our eyes and brains can comprehend, and sometimes it's just breathtakingly beautiful to just look at. Just as anything with nature, no matter how hard you try to explain this and try to attach a mathematical formula to it, you should never forget how beautiful it is to just sit back and take in what the universe gives us. Anyway, I hope you liked my video, and if you did, please subscribe. Until the next time.